Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Tusk the Mighty Mammoth. Chapter 5, Poison. How you guys doing today? I bit my lip. Yeah, it's nothing. Chapter 5, Poison. At the last minute, Tom rolled aside, the blood pulsing in his temples. "I won't give up," he gasped. He heard Elena's voice calling from across the forest. "Tom, are you all right?" "Yes," he shouted back. Storm was still neighing wildly and beating at the mighty mammoth with his hooves. Using every muscle he had and the power of the golden boots, Tom sprung up once more and regained his footing on the evil beast's great head. Ferno let out a delighted roar, and Tom turned to see the trapped dragon struggling even more fiercely against the bonds. "Come on, Ferno," Tom urged the good beast on. As we all ate him. "Come on, Ferno," Tom urged the good beast. "You can do it." Tusk gave a bellow of anger. Then she turned from the dragon and went lumbering off through the trees, Tom still clinging grimly to her head. Tom was being taken away from his quest, but Storm came galloping after them, foam at his lips and his eyes blazing as he chased the great mammoth through the trees. As Tusk thundered along, Tom had to duck in order to avoid the falling branches and flying splinters of smashed trees. He soon realized that the mammoth was approaching the place where the snake ferns held Elenna captive. Gripping the coarse hair on the beast's head, Tom stared ahead. Yes, he could see Elenna now. The snake ferns still held her tightly in their deadly grip. Elenna twisted around to look at Tom. "Hold on tight," she shouted. Tusk came to a halt, her great feet pounding the earth as she peered through the trees. She had heard Elena's voice. Then her trunk went up and she let out an ear-splitting bellow as her red eyes caught sight of Elenna, dangling upside down in the treetops. The mammoth moved towards her, ripping up trees with her trunk as she went. Tom had to do something, getting carefully to his feet. Tom balanced himself on the great swaying head. He had one chance to save Elenna. He swung his arm back and sent his sword spinning through the air. The blade sliced through the ferns that were holding her. But it wasn't enough. One thick tendril still gripped her by the ankle. Tom watched Tom watched as his sword struck a tree and went tumbling to the ground. "I've lost my weapon, and Elena's still not free," he thought desperately. He snatched hold of Tusk's left ear and wrenched at it with all his might, trying to force her to turn aside. But even using every ounce of his strength, Tom had no effect on the evil beast. Then Tusk's trunk came swinging back towards him. Here's the image of that. It struck him a vicious blow, sweeping his legs out from under him and sending him plunging to the forest floor. Dazed and gasping for air, Tom saw Elenna struggling wildly. Her face was bright red from being held upside down for so long. He staggered to his feet and ran after Tusk, desperate to help his friend. Storm came racing up, and Tom leaped into his saddle, shouting at the top of his voice, "Tusk, leave her! It's me you want." But the evil beast ignored him. Tusk's long trunk reached out for Elenna before it was able to grab her, Elenna tore frantically through the final green tendril and plunged through the air. As she fell, she knocked her arm against one of the mammoth's golden tusks. Its gleaming point pierced Elena's skin, and Tom saw red blood bubble up. Here's that image. "No!" Tom shouted as his friend landed with a thud on the forest floor and lay still. He jumped from Storm's back and bounded forwards, snatching up his sword from where it had fallen. He ran in close to Tusk's hind leg and drove the point of the blade deep into the mammoth's foot. Tusk let out a bellow of pain that shook the ground. Tom wrenched the sword out and thrust it in again, seeing thick red blood spurt from the wounds. The mammoth reared up, roaring with anger as the sword dug deep into his flesh. God. The mammoth reared up, roaring with anger as the sword dug deep into her flesh. Then pulled away, her head twisting around and her trunk crashing through the trees. But Tom was too quick for her. He bounded away through the forest, running in a curve that took him to where Elenna had fallen. He pulled her under the cover of some thick bushes. "Thank you," Elenna whispered weakly. "We're not safe yet," Tom said, looking anxiously at her. He quickly examined the wound on her arm. He could see that it was infected. The liquid that dripped from the evil beast's tusks must be poisonous. He had to do something to help Elenna. But what? And that was chapter 5. Chapter 5. Poison. My goodness, I have something in my throat. I need to drink something. Well, I hope you guys liked, subscribed, and hit the bell if you guys are interested in more Beast Quest videos. And see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.